There's one thing that lingers with Bad Company that we've been asking ourselves. What is it that people really like about Bad Company? That's a quote from Carl Magnus Troedsen, who is the general manager of DICE, and this quote right here is probably the reason why we haven't seen Battlefield Bad Company 3. DICE aren't sure what it is that gamers really liked about Bad Company. There's no denying it was a popular game, and probably one of the most popular games in the Battlefield series, for newcomers at least. And DICE aren't exactly sure what it is that they did in that game that made people love it so goddamn much. So with that being said, I thought I'd give my own opinion on why I think the Bad Company series is so good. I'm going to be basing a lot of my experiences here on Bad Company 2, simply because it's the most recent Bad Company game, and it was very difficult for me to try and find a copy of the original Bad Company on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, and actually to be able to get into a server with somebody on it. I do own Bad Company for the PS3, but it's just ridiculously difficult to actually get a game. You basically need a group of friends in order to get on the servers and play that game sometimes. But the first thing that I really loved about Bad Company was its simplicity. Battlefield 4 is, for me, a little bit too over the top with the amount of things that you can customize. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate that as a gamer, so that I can play exactly how I want to with any number of weapons that I can choose from and any number of attachments as well. But when it comes to gameplay, you couldn't get much simpler and more satisfying than Bad Company 2. Basically, it was you and your weapon, and that's about it. Going along with you and your gun, it was basically one attachment or one extra gadget, and that was about it. So for recon, for example, you had the motion balls. That's it, you didn't have tugs, that's all you got. You had the motion balls. So if you needed to know where something was going on, you throw the motion ball ahead of you, and that's all you needed to know. Everything was there on the screen. If you're an assault player and you want to get out of the way, you want to get yourself in a hidey place, you want to blow open a wall, you can do that. You've got the grenade launcher and you've got an ammo box at your disposal. The word assault means assault. You pushed forward and you got your team some points. You pushed your way through maps to try and help your team win the game. Ultimately, those things saved time, and I think that sort of leads into my next thing. The fact that you only had a limited amount of things that you could use meant you spent more time actually playing the game than you did customizing your weapon. So you had a chance of always keeping yourself in the action. You didn't jump out into the menu screen and spend 5 minutes sort of customizing a weapon, for example, and then jump back in and not really know what's going on in the battle. You only had a limited amount of loadout, so you had to make your choice, jump back into the map, and get back into the game. And as I said, that leads me on to the next thing. You're getting back into the game, and you're playing on some absolutely beautiful maps. I think Bad Company 2 is probably the pinnacle, for me at least, of all the maps that have ever been produced for Battlefield games. These had the perfect balance. And to start with, they were made with one game mode in mind. They weren't rehashed together or squashed down or scaled up to make sure that they could fit all the game modes the Battlefield offered. They were made with one game mode in mind. The map I'm playing today, Isla Inocentes, was made with Rush in mind. 3 sets of MCOMs, large spaces in between them, lots of room for sniping, a few vehicles in there as well, good areas for infantry combat too. It was such a progressive map, and there were so many different ways you could play it, that there was never a game that was exactly the same as the last one. Think about all the problems that we've had with Battlefield 4's Rush game mode, the way that it was pretty much shoehorned into every map within the game. I can't think of one Rush map that is anywhere near as good as Isla Inocentes, or Valparaiso, or Arica Harbour for that matter. Those are another 2 maps in Bad Company 2. I cannot think of a game mode within Battlefield 4 that is so good on one map that I always gravitate towards that game mode. When I come back to Bad Company, I always play Rush, and it's either going to be on Isla Inocentes or Arica Harbour. Those 2 maps, you cannot get better for Rush in the Battlefield series. Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 just didn't offer that. So when I come back to play, I always want to play one game mode on one map. And that was such a good feeling. I always knew I was going to get a good game. And lastly, well, of the main points that I like so much about Bad Company 2 is the game was fun. There was no reason for this game to take itself seriously. It was in a market up against Modern Warfare 2, and there was absolutely no way in hell that this game was going to ever beat Modern Warfare 2 in terms of sales. But what it did beat it in was replayability. This game is without a doubt the most fun Battlefield game I have ever played. And I've played pretty much all of the Battlefield games now. I came into the series at Bad Company, but I've played pretty much all of the games within the series, and without a doubt Bad Company 2 is the most fun. Tacking on Vietnam at the end was an inspired decision by the developer team, and again, that is without a doubt the best DLC for a Battlefield game that's ever been released. This game didn't need to take itself seriously because it knew it wasn't going to win against the sales of Call of Duty. The developers went out there and went, you know what, let's have some fun with this game. And they did, and they delivered an absolutely amazing experience. It felt crisp, it felt responsive, it felt like every time I came home from school, which I did, I would turn on my PlayStation and play this game. And if Bad Company 3 ever comes out and lives up to the name of Bad Company's series, then I will be truly one happy gamer. And that's what we have to remember here. It's not all about being the biggest and the best, it's about making the game that makes the gamers happy. It's about having fun, and Bad Company 2 did that completely. But anyway, that's the end of the video today, guys. I want you to leave some comments down below today, letting me know what you think about the Bad Company series. Should it make a return? Are you excited to see what DICE might have available for us in the future? And make sure you leave all your comments down below, letting me know why you think Bad Company was the best game in the series, what made it so fun for you, or if you didn't like it at all, let me know down in the comments. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Bad Company 2 video today. Just something a little bit different to change things up on the channel. A lot of Dragon's Teeth going on right now, so I thought that we'd get a little break in there. I will be doing a Far Cry 4 video in the not too distant future, so if you're interested in the Far Cry series, make sure you look out for that. That'll come out in the next few days or so. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.